Welcome to this video on diaphragmatic breathing. It's the second technique that we will practice together in our High on Air live series. And diaphragmatic breathing is a super powerful breathing technique. It's actually your natural state of breathing when your body is relaxed. And that's not so often anymore. The diaphragm is the main breathing muscle, and it's kind of like a jellyfish. It moves up and down. It moves up when you exhale, it moves down when you inhale, and then just creates more space at the bottom of the lungs so that air can flow all the way from the top to the bottom and fill the entire compartment of the lungs. So it's a super efficient way of breathing. It's also a super relaxing way of breathing. I'll tell you more about it later on. But we don't really do this anymore, or at least not as often as we should, because we're sitting all the time. When you sit, you wear a belt or you have a belly, then your abdomen cannot expand forward. So instead, you start to breathe with your chest and with your clavicles, so the intercostals and the clavicles. And that is super inefficient. It costs us a lot of energy, and we only get air up to the top of our lungs. So we start to panic. We think we have too little energy, too little air. We start to breathe faster. We get rid of more CO2, need to breathe more. It's a cycle, which I'll explain in more detail later on. Um, so the physiology of diaphragmatic breathing, it's super efficient because the air can go all the way down to the bottom. This leads to much better oxygen absorption in the lungs, but also in the blood and in the cells, which is actually the only place where you need it. It is much less of a waste of the muscular system because it's an efficient movement, a big, slow movement instead of many rapid movements. It gives us less of a feeling of exhaustion, and it is also a trigger of the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve is very special and important part of our body. It's basically the area which sends all the signals of our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of the fight or flight mode. So it's our rest and digest mode. When we're in parasympathetic state, we can digest our food, we can fight off diseases, we have clear access to the higher compartments of our brain, and basically when we exhale fully or inhale fully, then we trigger this vagus nerve. We basically tell the body that it's safe. Think of it when you need to run away for a tiger, you're not going to breathe in super relaxed and deep. You're going to do like having a big shoulder and chest breath so that you're fast and you can run. Whereas when you're done running and you can lay down and you look at the stars and everything's beautiful and you survived, and then you start to breathe deep and relax, and your body realizes it's safe and that it can send energy again to your digestion. So the technique, it's again super simple. You're just moving your diaphragm down, but you can't see that. So let's practice. You can basically practice by placing a hand on your belly in front of your navel, belly button, and you want to push that hand forward on the inhalation and bring it slowly backwards on the exhalation. Now the inhalation is with control and slow, and the belly goes forward quite a lot. And the exhalation is with control and slow and without muscular effort, so it's completely relaxed. So let's inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep on going at your own pace, trying to fully expand the belly on the inhalation and to breathe out relaxed on the exhalation. Try if you can also be mindful of the breath, feeling the air going in and out of the nose, and combining conscious breathing with diaphragmatic breathing to create super strong connections in your brain. Now, if you notice that expanding the belly is very difficult when you're sitting, maybe you want to open your belt. Maybe you actually want to lay down on the back and use a book on top of your belly. Maybe you want to lay on your belly and do crocodile pose. We'll practice that in another movie together. Yeah, so continue breathing like this. So deep and low into the belly, expanding the hands forward, maybe placing one hand on the chest to notice that you're not moving too much with the chest, and then on the exhalation, moving your lower hand back and down, really using the full range of motion of your belly. No one is looking at you, you don't need to be flat. You're human like me. Now, what kind of effect does this have? Yeah, so I already told you about the autonomic nervous system. Diaphragmatic breathing triggers the vagus nerve and puts us in parasympathetic nervous state, which allows us to digest our food, to have access to the higher compartments of our brain, to fight off diseases and bacteria. Our immune system is active when we're in parasympathetic state. And yeah, it's basically what we need to do in the long term to thrive and survive. That's what we can spend our energy on when we are relaxed. When we're stressed, we spend our energy on what we need to do in the short term to survive, which is also super useful. A parasympathetic nervous state also encourages alpha brain waves, which are very slow and stable brain waves, and I call them the creator brain waves. So instead of being reactive, like you are in beta, which is very short and rapid so that you can respond to your outer environment, you're being proactive and you have very steady and constant and focused brainwaves. There's only one more step from there to meditation, which is awesome, but also for later on. Now, the parasympathetic nervous state also creates more coherence between the waves of the brain and the waves of the heart. So they start to work together more. And it leads to the emotions of focus, calm, and clarity, which I think are awesome. And if you would like to experience more of them, please join me on Wednesdays on High on Air Live at 12. And if you learned anything new and feel relaxed after watching this video, please press like and subscribe. I'm looking forward to practicing with you. Namaste.